Of hearing that, and obviously we have a deep team. We have a great team. Tyrese, for good reason, Olympic gold medalist, leader of the team. Pascal Siakam, also NBA All-Star and stud for our team. We got a lot of those, but Tyrese playing. The straw that stirs the drink is good news, so I'm happy to hear that. Now, around the NBA, I hear we potentially have some breaking news.
We do have news. So I was standing on the side. I was making phone calls. You know, I'm getting ready to come on PMS. We're working. I do have news.
Okay.
This is in the Western Conference.
Damn.
Houston Rockets head coach Ime Udoka has reached agreement on a long-term contract extension with the franchise. It makes Udoka one of the highest-paid coaches in the NBA right now.
Right. Congratulations, Ime.
Wow.
Coach.
This is an 8-figure deal annually, I'm told. And you think about Tillman and Patrick Fertitta, Rockets ownership, their general manager, Rafael Stone. They went out and hired Ime Udoka in 2023 when we know he got suspended from the Celtics. They ended up parting ways, essentially, and they scooped him up fast. They got him. He obviously is a championship caliber coach already. He showed it in Boston. And there's a stat I saw. In his 2 seasons there, 93 wins in Houston. The 3 years prior to that, they had just 59 wins. So they won 52 games this year, the number 2 seed, playoffs for the first time since 2020. And this is a team clearly on the rise with some good young players.
Absolutely. And obviously their names being listed for some trade destinations for some potential superstar players.
Which one is that, Kevin? No, we don't have to say it.
Okay. It sounds like you're saying it, Sean.
You're the one yanking us around.
I was going to finish about Ime Udoka. He never been questioned about how good of a coach he is, right?
No.
Never.
Even in Boston, it was.
Oh, he's such a good coach, though. That's all everybody kept saying when everything went down.
Finals.
Yeah,
Go to the finals first year.
Yeah, absolutely. And when the Knicks call and ask if he's available, does that help for his leverage, or is this already kind of in the works?
This has been in the works for a really long time. This is ever since the Rockets season ended in that first round of the playoffs. They've been working on this extension, negotiating this extension out, and this type of coach, they wanted to make sure they view Ime Udoka as a coach for the next decade, the next maybe a decade and a half. That's the type of run that they want Ime Udoka and Rafael Stone there to have.
UD, how many great young I don't know if Ime is considered a young coach, but for me, he's like the next generation of coaches. How many of these guys stick and how many guys end up stinking? Does that make sense? Like, it feels like there's a good hit rate at the coaching position. Like, I think if you were to ask Utah, they'd be pumped about Hardy. I think they gave him a new deal. Obviously, Carlisle's old dog, but it seems like these younger coaches that get in, I mean, Mazzulla is like 25 years old.
Yeah.
They seemingly have a pretty high hit rate. Is that accurate or no?
Yeah, I think so. And I think the way this works in his situation is him being a young coach, having a young team. So he speaks that language. He's relatable to those guys. They follow his leadership, and he understands. I'll tell you, when we used to be in those series against Boston, and I've mentioned this before, when I looked down to the huddle, it was Ime Udoka leading that charge. It wasn't Tatum. It wasn't Brown. It wasn't Smart. It was him leading that charge. He was the leader of that group. He was the leader of that team. So you take a young team like this, and 15 guys embody his personality, 15 guys embody what he's all about. Now you got something to work with.
Okay, let's talk about something to work with. KD there. Now, I think there are some people that have some KD fatigue at this point. Not us. I'm a big Kevin Durant fan, and it also gives us something to talk about.
For sure.
Gives us something to talk about. We are a talk show, sports talk show, and 2.5, 3 hours every single day. So if Kevin Durant trade rumors are going to happen, would love to continue to talk about Kevin Durant. With that being said, it feels like there's been a couple different narratives of this conversation. I think last week you said it could end soon. Then there were some people that say it could reach into this week. Now we're into this week. What are your thoughts on the KD trade stuff? And are the Rockets, is that the next move after they handle Ime?
Yeah, I mean, Pat, the longer this drags out, the more we're going to be talking about it. Kevin Durant's one of the best players in the league still today. He's going to go down as, top 15, top 20
50,
player
40, 90.
of all time, top 10 player of all time.
Sir.
So,
Yes,
and his stats, I mean, this is what he's doing even at this age is remarkable. So he deserves that. Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a feeling last week, but at the end of the day, the Suns know if they're going to trade Kevin Durant, they clearly have a price threshold they want met. And I had one team tell me today, it's kind of a game of chicken at this point. From the Rockets to the Heat to the Minnesota Timberwolves, it's literally one or two pieces away, either which way, that can get a deal done. But at the end of the day, one of these teams has to meet that threshold to get something done. The NBA draft is about a week away, so could this go into the NBA draft? For sure. But I don't think the Suns wanted to. I don't think the other teams wanted to. You want to get those deals done. So my understanding is they're in active conversations with those three teams specifically on trying to get a deal done for Kevin Durant, having their price threshold met. I would also not be surprised if this has 3-4 team deal scenarios too. This is also something that could branch into much more than just being a 1-for-1 trade.
Okay, the NBA, whenever there's like 4 teams involved so that everybody can get the price right, is wild. It's I don't know how the deal makers get it done. Good luck to all parties. There's obviously so many different parts to get a deal done, especially at this level. Now, I think I read a quote of yours on the First Take Lower Third yesterday that said Phoenix is going to take the best deal, even if it isn't one of Kevin Durant's desired destinations or something like that. Where'd you say that, and is that accurate? Are the Phoenix Suns looking for the best deal right now for Kevin Durant, regardless?
No doubt. In their mind, they are. But it's a two-way street, right? So Kevin Durant's got 1 year, about $54 million plus left on his deal. That gives him an amount of leverage because a team that wants him, potentially, 1, wants a guy like Kevin Durant to want to be there. 2, have the understanding of, listen, we can potentially extend you once you arrive or in a period of moments. So those are all parts of the equation. So, of course, if there's a team that steps up, doesn't want the commitment, the Suns would love to do a deal like that if that type of deal is out there where it supersedes a deal with his 3 preferred teams. So when I reported the 3 preferred destinations, San Antonio, Houston, and Miami, I also said the Suns are going to make the best decision for themselves, even if it's outside of that list. But the Rockets are on that list, and the Heat are on that list, and they are involved in this on these final stages.
You want to do any tampering?
No, sir. I just want to be there if he makes it.
Well,
I just want to be there when he makes it. That's if he makes it. I'll pick him up if he makes it.
I'll put it on you. From your perspective, take your team hat off. What would you do if you're Kevin Durant right now?
Well, I can't take my team hat off.
I'm trying to get him.
You're trying to get him.
Put your player hat on.
I mean, go somewhere where I can possibly win a championship. Obviously, this is the goal. I know there's a lot of talk about what ring culture really is and what's important, but I think you go somewhere where you could possibly win a championship. So that's my conversation. Miami, yeah, like I said, it can work, man. But, there's other opportunities can work. I just sat here and told you how great of a coach Ime Udoka is. I look at those young pieces. There's opportunity to go over there. They already have a culture that's being built. Miami has a culture that's being built. So, like I said, Kevin Durant is a guy who loves to hoop 50, 40, 90, 50% from the field, 40 from 3, 90% from the free throw line. Mm-hmm. That's buckets.
Okay, I'm happy you said that because you said 50, 40, 90 earlier, and I was like, yeah.
Oh, I was wondering you guys know what that was. 50, 40, 90.
I was like, hell yeah, this dude's balling. I was like, 50 points, 40 assists.
90 rebounds.
Unbelievable.
It's efficient. He's efficient as hell is basically what I'm saying. He's efficient as hell.
Go ahead, D-Boy.
Shams, you kind of broke the internet last night again with what's going on with the Lakers and the majority stake sale with Jeanie Buss making that sale to Mark Walters and that group. I saw you put the valuation out at $10 billion.
$10 billion.
I just want to break down how this is going to look and how much, ownership does the Buss family retain.
So right now, the Buss family will have about 17%, just over 15% of the minority share for a period of time. I'm not quite sure, but usually with deals like this, there's provisions in it where the majority owner, in this case Mark Walter, will eventually potentially buy that out. So we'll see when we get the fine print exactly what that looks like, DB. Jeanie Buss will stay on as the governor for a period of time after this sale. But listen, someone like Mark Walter, you buy this team for $10 billion.